mysteries as old as mankind, witchcraft, ghosts, talking dogs.
Rod? Where?
Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our channel, Paws On Animation.
Today we are covering Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, one of the more classic Scooby-Doo movies.
Yes, and it involves Mystery Inc. traveling to New England, to the town of Oak Haven, after being invited by a horror writer named Ben Ravencroft. And this is a direct-to-DVD movie that features real supernatural elements as well as the Hex Girl.
Yes! And before we start with that, be sure to like, subscribe, notification updates on future podcasts and roll the pause videos.
Absolutely. So this came out in 1999.
Wow, that means it is now 23 years old.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And when it originally released, it came out on VHS
Wow.
first, then DVD.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay. So it tells you just how far back this was. Give me an idea of it.
So when this came out, we didn't have the Scooby Gang VAs that we know now. There were Scott Ennis, Mary Kay Bergman, Frank Walker, of course, who we know, B.J. Ward. And then you had guest starring Tim Curry, Bob Jones, Peter Renedy, Tress McNeil, Neil Ross. And then the Hex Girls, Kimberly Brooks, Jennifer Hale, and Jane Weedland, who to this day are still voicing the Hex Girls wonderfully.
Yes. And I think that's one of the biggest things about this movie. And this was part of those series of movies of Scooby-Doo that started with Zombie Island, where they started to have plot lines where the monsters or supernatural things they're investigating actually end up being real and not someone in a costume. So this movie was kind of like one of the last ones for that, because I think they did 4 of those types of movies, and Zombie Island is starting it all. And since it did so well the first time and surprised people, they tried to do it some more times. And it looked like by the time they got to The Witch's Ghost, it was beginning to lose its steam, so they started going back to their original formula. Not to say this is a bad movie.
This is actually one of the good ones.
Yes.
Definitely compared to like Happy Halloween and the later movies. But
right.
This actually had a good story. And it got pretty dark toward the end.
Yes,
no,
definitely.
actually, it didn't get pretty dark. It got dark at the end.
Yeah, definitely. Because they have this storyline where there's a literally witch's ghost, roll credits, haunting this town. And on one hand, they're using that for publicity and getting traffic and getting money from it. So they're kind of like, yeah, go ahead and haunt the place. And the other half's like, no, you can't do this because these people are actually terrified. So, of course, they got to solve the mystery of who is really the ghost. Well, since this is part of those streaming movies, yeah, they find out who's doing it, but then they actually do find the real witch's ghost. The unfortunate part is that that part doesn't come in until the movie is almost over. Like it's one of the last things in the movie.
But it's the last thing, and you'll remember.
Yeah.
As dark as it got.
Definitely.
And of course, the villain, if you hear Tim Curry, you know he's the villain.
Yeah.
And he was the villain, Ben Ravencroft.
Right.
He performed the villain excellently.
Yep.
And he was definitely not likable.
Nope.
In this movie.
No. And for his storyline, actually connect with the main plot, is that it said his ancestor was a witch. It said she was actually a Wiccan who helped heal people. Though they say Wiccan and witch are the same thing, so you're kind of giving me mixed messages here. So they're trying to prove that she wasn't a witch and find the book that had all the names of the people that she helped. Right. Yeah. All the people that she helped to prove that it wasn't true. Well, you get to the end of the movie, and you see the book with the skull on it, evil, and she was a witch, and he's part warlock, and it's like, and then hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
Literally, and he has, like, magic powers, and he starts turning things alive and everything.
And he ended up like Bart Simpson, like when he said, I want to be a penny, he says he wants to be a penny criminal, but he's a petty thug, and she's a hard criminal.
Yeah.
Well, in here, he just wanted her to help him so that he could get more powerful and he could join with her and they could be more powerful and just
And
doing
rule
things.
over, yeah.
And she was so sick, she wanted to destroy the world.
Yeah.
And then he tried to send her back because she scared the crap out of her.
Yeah, he's like, no, I just want to rule the world. I don't actually destroy it. That's too much. Like, really, that is? And before it leads up into all of that for, like, the last 20 or 30 minutes of the movie, they do set up everything, give you the backstory, give you the clues and everything, and one of the biggest highlights of the movie, besides the ghost is real plot, is that you feature the first time in the premiere of the Hex Girls, and they became such a staple of Scooby-Doo, like you said, that they kept showing up every now and then in different shows and movies. Like, they show up in Mystery Incorporated, they show up in What's New Scooby-Doo, they show up in several of their movies, and they became like the unofficial band of Scooby-Doo because the songs were actually really good.
Yes.
And they're perfect for October.
And even better, the 3 voice actors that are voicing the characters are actually singing the song.
Yes.
That's even better.
Yeah, and like I said, the song is really good. All the songs they perform are so well done. People are still using them to this day.
So if you're a Voltron fan and you ever want to know what Allure would sound like singing, listen to the Hex Girls and you'll hear it.
Right. And the movie is like still really well done, even with the actual monster part coming in on the last 30 minutes of the movie, which you wish was actually longer because it was so engaging and crazy. It still was a good movie, but this is probably, I think, one of their last movies that they had done like this with the monster being real. Because
It was also the last time that Mary Kay Bergman voiced Daphne.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and then you had Scott Ennis, who voiced Shaggy, but he actually left to do Futurama.
Yeah, so went to something even bigger, I guess. And with everything that goes on in here, it still feels like a Scooby-Doo movie when you watch it.
Definitely.
Yeah, they look kind of different. We know they were trying to update their looks and have try to do a little twist on their regular formulas, which is fine, but they still stuck with what a Scooby-Doo mystery was. They just added the supernatural element and tried to intensify that to be in the twist. And it looks like this and those types of movies from the Zombie Island quadrilogy with that it got repurposed into Mystery Incorporated, where there would be a person in disguise, but the monster would feel so real you almost thought that almost each week the monster was really real because they did it so well up until near the end of the second season when there actually was some supernatural involved with everything. So these movies, you have this, Zombie Island, Alien Invaders, Cyber Chase, all those contributed to Scooby-Doo having these elements later on and started creating even better movies.
Well, this is a 66-minute movie. It's
not long.
Spooktober. Whether you've seen it or not, it's really entertainment. We've seen it multiple times.
Yes, definitely. It's one of my favorites.
And again, the ending, if you've never seen it, you're really going to love the ending because it's more like an actual theatrical movie in the end rather than being an animated Scooby-Doo movie where it's lighthearted, it gets dark, and it's really good. And it was the perfect balance of comedy and drama and mystery.
Yeah.
And darkness.
Yeah, so
that
you like
needed
the
to be for a
darkness.
successful movie.
Yes, definitely.
So if you've seen Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you love it, like it, or think it's mad? We really want to know what you think. And if you haven't seen it, find it, especially this month. It's a great watch.
Definitely.
And you won't be disappointed, and you'll just be happy to watch something from this franchise that reminds you of what made it so good before Scoob. This is definitely what made it stand out.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and good videos, your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you so much. Thank you for subscribing and liking and commenting. If you'd like us to check out your channel, let us know in the comments below.
Yes. So thank you so much for watching Rask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.